The American automobile is more than just a machine. It's a symbol of freedom, ingenuity, and the American dream itself. For generations, cars have represented the open road, opportunity, and the promise of a better life. From Detroit's factory floors, where the hum of machinery once echoed with hope and ambition, to the legendary stretches of Route 66, automobiles have shaped not only our economy, but also our national identity and culture. They've been the backdrop to family road trips, the subject of songs and movies, and the engine behind countless American dreams. Ford, GM, and Chrysler, known as the Detroit Three, were once global titans, employing millions and setting the pace for the world's industrial might. Their factories were the beating heart of American prosperity, fueling the rise of the middle class. But now, in 2025, that engine is sputtering. The once bustling plants stand silent, their machines gathering dust, and the optimism that once filled these spaces has faded. Despite political promises and talk of a manufacturing renaissance, the hard data tells a different story. A story of slow, relentless decline for the Detroit Three. Production numbers have dropped, profits have shrunk, and the industry's future feels uncertain. Their market share has been shrinking for decades, and the impact is felt far beyond the factory gates. Entire communities, once thriving, now face unemployment, shrinking populations, and a loss of hope for the next generation. The reasons for this decline are complex, driven by globalization, automation, and rapidly shifting consumer tastes. Foreign competition, new technologies, and the rise of electric vehicles have all played a part in reshaping the industry. While foreign-owned plants and new factories thrive in the South, bringing jobs and investment, the heart of the original American auto industry is quietly bleeding out, leaving behind empty lots and broken dreams. This is more than a story about cars. It's about America at a crossroads, questioning whether one of its greatest legacies is slipping away, and what that means for our future. Tonight, we peel back the layers of this quiet crisis, exploring the forces at work and the lives caught in the balance, as we ask, can the engine of a nation be revived, or is this the end of the road? To understand today's crisis, we must revisit Detroit's rise. Visionaries like Ford and Chrysler didn't just build cars, they built the modern middle class. The moving assembly line made cars affordable and set the standard for mass production. Detroit became the Motor City, the epicenter of global automotive power. The Big Three's factories created millions of jobs and fueled a thriving ecosystem of suppliers and communities. American cars dominated roads worldwide, becoming cultural icons. For decades, Detroit's supremacy seemed unassailable, but success bred complacency. Large, slow-moving companies resisted change. Labor disputes and lack of innovation left the door open for nimble competitors from Europe and Japan. Even at its peak, Detroit was sowing the seeds of its own vulnerability. Many blame foreign competition for Detroit's decline, but the story is more complicated. The Big Three began decentralizing as early as the 1950s, moving jobs out of Detroit to weaken powerful unions. This internal migration set a precedent for foreign automakers, who later built non-union plants in the South. States like Tennessee and South Carolina gained jobs as Michigan lost them. The shift wasn't about jobs going overseas, but about jobs moving within America. Detroit's tax base eroded, communities withered, and the city's bond with the auto industry fractured. The Motor City stalled not because of outsiders, but because its own champions left. The consequences for Detroit were devastating and lasting. On the surface, the American auto industry appears to be thriving. In 2024, more than 10 million vehicles rolled off assembly lines nationwide, supporting a workforce of over 1 million people. Headlines tout record production numbers and a robust job market, painting a picture of strength and stability. But beneath these impressive national statistics, a very different story is unfolding. One that's easy to miss if you don't look closer. The industry is now sharply divided. In the South, foreign automakers have built gleaming high-tech plants, often in right-to-work states where unions have little influence. These facilities are expanding rapidly, bringing thousands of new jobs and economic growth to the region. Meanwhile, the traditional heart of the industry, the Detroit Three automakers in the Midwest, faces mounting challenges, from aging infrastructure to fierce global competition. Foreign brands are pouring billions into new factories, hiring American workers, and steadily increasing their share of the U.S. market. Their made-in-America cars are now a common sight, reshaping what it means to be an American auto worker. In stark contrast, The Detroit Three, once the undisputed giants of the industry, are losing ground. Their market share has shrunk and some of their most iconic brands have either disappeared or faded into the background. Michigan, once the beating heart of American car manufacturing, has lost a staggering 60% of its auto jobs since the 1950s. While national employment numbers remain steady, the pain is deeply felt in communities that once thrived on auto work. This isn't a nationwide decline. It's a crisis that's both regional and corporate. The losses are concentrated in the Midwest, while the South sees growth and opportunity. The original champions of the American auto industry are struggling to survive, even as a new, foreign-led sector rises and flourishes on American soil. The data reveals a dramatic transformation, one that's reshaping the industry's landscape and the lives of those who depend on it. The decline is not spread evenly across the country. It's focused in the Midwest, where entire towns have been upended by plant closures and job losses. This is the quiet crisis at the heart of the American auto industry, a story of change, loss, and the uncertain future facing Detroit and its workers. December 2025. The numbers are stark for the Detroit Three, and the city's skyline tells a story of both legacy and uncertainty. Once the undisputed heart of American automotive might, Detroit now faces a crossroads, with its iconic automakers grappling with a rapidly changing industry. In 1999, Ford, GM, and Chrysler sold over 12 million vehicles in the U.S. By 2024, that's down to 5.4 million, a staggering 60% drop. The bustling dealership lots of the late 20th century have given way to quieter showrooms and shrinking inventories, reflecting a dramatic shift in consumer preferences and market realities. Their combined market share is projected to hit a record low of 32.7% by 2026, a far cry from the dominance they once enjoyed. This decline isn't just a number, it's a signal of how the American auto landscape is being redrawn. Michigan's auto manufacturing jobs have fallen from 91,000 in 2000 to just 49,000 today. The impact is visible in shuttered factories and communities struggling to adapt to fewer opportunities. But these jobs haven't simply vanished, they've migrated. Southern states now attract foreign automakers, with new plants rising in places like Alabama and Tennessee, bringing fresh hope and economic growth to regions once overlooked by the industry. Nationally, auto assembly jobs are actually up since NAFTA, but the growth is happening outside the traditional heartland. The Midwest's loss has become the South's gain, as global brands invest billions in new American facilities. Yet factory capacity in Michigan and the Midwest remains underutilized, with many plants running below potential or sitting idle. An ongoing sign of weakness and transition. The Detroit Three still dominate the lucrative pickup and SUV segments, their trucks a symbol of American engineering. But outside these categories, they struggle to keep pace with foreign competitors. Today, American consumers increasingly favor Toyota, Honda, and Hyundai, drawn by reliability, innovation, and value. The shift is visible in driveways and parking lots across the country. The default choice for a new car is no longer a Ford, Chevy, or Dodge. Instead, buyers are weighing a wider range of options, often choosing foreign brands for their next vehicle. The quiet decline of Detroit's giants is accelerating as consumers vote with their wallets and reshape the future of the American auto industry, one purchase at a time. Who's to blame for the decline? The answer is complex. Trade deals like NAFTA and imports are often blamed, but economists say that's only part of the story. The 1980s auto crisis was driven more by recession and high interest rates than by Japanese imports. Automation is a bigger factor. Modern plants need fewer workers to build more cars. This global trend has permanently reduced factory jobs. The Detroit Three also lost ground by ignoring consumer demand for smaller, more reliable cars. Quality issues pushed buyers to Japanese and European brands. While Detroit has improved, it's still fighting decades of lost trust. The decline is a mix of automation, trade, and strategic missteps. Experts disagree on the causes of the crisis. Some, like Susan Hausman, blame global trade and China's entry into the WTO for job losses. Others, like Adam Ozimek, argue that market strength matters more than imports. His research shows domestic production rises with overall vehicle sales, regardless of import share. Automation is another key factor. Robots have replaced many factory jobs. Michigan State's Jason Miller says productivity gains, not just offshoring, drive job losses. The truth is, there's no single cause. The decline is the result of trade, automation, shifting consumer tastes, and company missteps. Oversimplifying the crisis misses the powerful forces reshaping the industry. This isn't just economics, it's about people and places. For generations, auto jobs built stable, middle-class communities. When plants close, the effects ripple out. Lost jobs, shuttered stores, shrinking tax bases. Towns like Flint and Lordstown, once symbols of industrial might, now struggle with decline. Displaced workers face tough choices: retrain, relocate, or accept lower pay. The social fabric phrase: crime rises, health suffers, and hope fades. Economic disenfranchisement fuels anger and political polarization. The decline of the Detroit Three is about more than corporations. It's about millions of American lives. Their struggle is central to the national crisis. The future is uncertain, but the transition to electric vehicles offers both risk and opportunity. EVs require fewer workers and massive investment. Can the Detroit Three adapt fast enough? Protectionist policies like tariffs may backfire, raising prices and hurting the industry. The stakes are high. Continued decline threatens the middle class and deepens national divides. The real challenge is to support legacy industries while fostering innovation and workforce training. America's auto legacy is proud, but survival demands bold vision and smart policy. The next chapter depends on choices we make now. The quiet decline is a warning and a call to action. Whether America can reclaim its place in the driver's seat is a story still being written.